This video was brought to you by Stormberg, a better route planner, MisterGreen, Kempower and Marcus Bil. Yo, what's up? We're now at Ioniq and behind me here you see Mercedes EQV. So this one I've tested before. It was a different car, but back then it was freezing cold outside. And that was the range test, the only range that I have. So that's why I figured that I want to do a retest when it's not too cold, so it's more realistic for the rest of Europe. And that's why I'm here today. So it's more or less the same spec as the one we tried earlier. This one also has winter tires. I'm going to check, by the way, what do we have here? Nokian, all right. Well, it's kind of hard to see it. Hakkapeliitta R3. Okay, what dimension? 245, 55, 17. Okay, so this car is front wheel drive. And let me show you, by the way. I started charging at around 50%. And look at this charging speed, huh? Why didn't I get this in 1,000 kilometer challenge? It's taking over 100 kilowatt at 69%. It's probably because we don't start with 5%, we start with 45%, that's why. But yeah, so, you know, it's a big battery pack. It charges kind of slow for the bigness. But also the reason why I want to test this car is because this is, I guess, an alternative to ID Bus. ID Bus has been hyped up quite a lot. It's a big van. Well, I mean, actually, medium-sized van. This, on the other hand, is a big van. And I can show you. Voila. Captain's chairs. And even 3 seats in the third row. So plenty of space here. And also, not only that, but here in the trunk, you actually have an okay sized trunk despite having all 3 rows up. So yeah, if you consider a van and you need lots of space, maybe the EQV is a good choice for you. So when it comes to price, this car I can show you here, it cost 807k NOK, whereas the ID Bus I tried was only 600k. So of course it's a lot more expensive, but I feel like the interior here is better and you have more space, but then the charging speed kind of sucks. But for example, see here, we have light here in the back, we have HVAC controls there, we have air vents here, we have air vents in the back there, we have cup holder here, we have Burmester, where can you see it? We have Burmester speakers, full-size captain's chair. Okay, so yeah, that's the whole point. So now you at least know what alternatives we have out there. But now what we want to find out is this still charging? Wow, look at this. It's still charging quite fast. Wow, okay. So I guess Germans, they like nice and flat charging curve. So let me show you guys what the plan is. Well, do I need to explain too much what the plan is? We are at Nav. We are here at Ioniq and we will drive all the way to the north point and back again to measure distance error. And I think we'll do the 90 test first. But we kind of had to hurry because it's going to rain, but it's a little bit wet on the road now, so I'll show you soon. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Look here. So these are the new chargers. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new Ioniq chargers. So they double the number of Ioniq chargers. Actually, they're going to replace the old tritium chargers with the new ones also. So 12 stalls here. You can say goodbye to Laderstad then. Yeah. We are on the move now, so unfortunately it's a bit wet today. Now we are in the end of October, so it's hard to find dry road, unlike when we had summer. So, but it's the best we can do. So shouldn't affect the consumption too much. Okay, slightly, but at least it's not soaking wet. So we have to cruise at 95 kilometers per hour on the speedo to match 90 GPS speed. And you see the instrument cluster looks very analog, and it is analog stuff. So I feel like, okay, I mean, it's still a Mercedes, but and it's still kind of nice for a van, but compared to, for example, EQS, EQE, or even EQC, then you don't have all the nice features. For example, we don't have auto steer here. There's a button here that resembles some kind of auto steer thing, which is acting up, but it would just vibrate when we get close to the edge. So yeah, that's a bummer, because I feel like nowadays auto steer is a must-have, but not with this one. No. So all right, let me see, what is the so far from start? Oh, okay, so 290 watt-hour per kilometer, but we have to wait for it to stabilize. And you see that, I don't know what's up with this German position, kind of inconsistent here. We don't have decimals on the consumption, and also no decimals on the distance. At least if we switch to this one here, I did reset it before we started, so at least we have decimals here. All right, so let's just keep driving. Oh yeah, by the way, we don't have to weigh the car because we have done it before. So I can tell you that this van weighs almost 3 metric tons. It is by far the heaviest vehicle I ever tested. But interior is nice though. You see, we have some lights here. We have electric adjustable seat for the passenger. We have ambient light. We also have some lights here so we can see stuff in the dark. Yeah, this camcorder I'm using is really light sensitive. So what you see here pretty much represents what you will see with your own eyes. Huh? Isn't it nice? I think it's a nice interior. Yeah, I'm a Mercedes boy after all. Let's try the sound system. So this one has Burmester, but is Burmester just Burmester? Well, I guess it depends which car you put it in. Let's see. Fairly clear. I'm gonna listen to the bass now. Is it deep? Is it tight? Ooh. Fairly tight and deep bass. Wow, sounds impressive for a freaking van. It lacks some crispness, some clarity. For example, unlike the EQS, I mean it's Mercedes, it's Burmester, but yeah. But again, still pretty good for a van. Yeah, it still lacks that. I mean, it almost sounds like the sound is slightly muffled. Almost as if something was covering some of the speakers versus a high-end system. Well, okay, at least the bass is fairly linear. I couldn't hear any weird peaks. Last one. Okay, I'm gonna listen to some mid bass in the doors. See, listen to if some of the doors are rattling or not. So it comes soon. A little bit. Okay. There's a little bit of rattle sound from the mid bass coming from the right side here. I'm not sure. So how would I rate this sound system, even though it's Burmester? I'm not totally convinced. It's lacking some in the bass, lacking some in the mid tones also. So I think I will only give it a 5. I'm not sure if it's a 5 or a 6. That's it. But hopefully this Burmester option is not too expensive, so just go for it anyway. Well, we're gonna try coasting now. Let's see. I have to wait for it to go. I look at the power meter, and then I will disengage. There, I disengage cruise control. We have something called D+ in the regen setting, which is, I see it in the power meter. It goes 0. It doesn't regen, so that means basically the same as neutral, going downhill now. You're picking up speed. So this will be interesting because the EQV is, like I mentioned, that by far the heaviest EV I've ever tested, which means that when you are on top of the hill, you have lots of potential energy that you release on the way down. Now there's some friction now, or resistance rather, when you go down today with wet roads. But how much speed are we picking up? Oh, is this gonna be a record? No. will that actually will we have an advantage to have a heavy car when go downhill like this? Wait a minute, some of the other cars, they managed to hit 120 kilometers per hour, right? Yeah, I remember I had to blur out the speed. This one, oh, I guess it's just the fact that we have a big box here. So, okay, we have maybe high potential energy, but we have somewhat high CDA. The drag coefficient, also the frontal area is humongous. So that's why we will hit 90 kilometers per hour. So, wait a minute. There's still some downhill. No, wait, no, there. Okay, yes, okay. I had to enable it. Okay, over here. Yeah, you know, I wonder which car would roll the farthest. We need a heavy car with good drag coefficient and low resistance in drivetrain. Maybe Tesla Roadster, you know, the 2020 Tesla Roadster. We are passing by Hamar now, heading back to Circle K, back south again, and the consumption so far is 270 watt-hour per kilometer, but it is cold outside here, 2.5. It was 5 degrees near Nebbenes where we started, or Dal rather. But you see, I just discovered something. So for some reason here we don't see decimals on the consumption. It just says 27 kilowatt-hour per 100 kilometer. But if you go here, you see the instant consumption. There you see decimals. Why this inconsistency? We are back at Ioniq Dal juicing up. So I measured that this car actually overreports distance by 0.9%. In 1,000 kilometer challenge, I figure that it's 0.6. So yeah, it's roughly there, 0.6, 0.9. I think I will just trust the 0.9. So I did all the calculations so far, but now we are just topping up a little bit so we can do the 120 test. So wow, look at this. Maybe I can just show you this. I'm too lazy to go out now because it's raining a little bit outside, but it's actually taking some nice charging speeds now. Now that we arrive with around, what was it, around 25%, then we get a nice and flat charging curve. Yeah, seems like this car doesn't like to arrive at 5%. Then it would charge fast initially, and then it charges slower at this point. Oh, it started raining. It's this kind of tiny droplets that, yeah, here it doesn't seem like it's raining, but it is actually raining. Especially you will feel it if you're driving, especially if you drive fast. So this will affect the consumption. The road is getting soaked now, wetter and wetter. So the 120 test will be high. Yeah, I mean the consumption will be high. But yeah, so I just topped up. I just want to see how this car charges, and it charges really weird, or actually in a good way though. Look here, even at 75%, we're getting 96 kilowatt right now. It was totally different story when I did 1,000 kilometer challenge, and I arrived at 5%. At 75%, I would get like 60, 70 kilowatt on the. So, well, okay, I think we have enough now. Yeah, we could have left a long time ago. I was just sitting here looking at the charging curve and see how it goes. We are on the move again. So this time you see that the driving conditions are worse. Yeah, wetter road. So, right, the consumption seems a bit high right now because we just started. And then this time we had to cruise at 125 kilometers per hour on the speedo to match the GPS speed. So at least it's empty now. It's 21 minutes past midnight. So there shouldn't be any left lane huggers over here, except for me. Well, I wanted to demonstrate the headlights, but yeah, you can't see too much in the rain here. So, but these headlights are quite good. I will make a separate video about the headlights. See, last time when I tested the EQV, I didn't have all these the test procedures I have today. So that's why I need to apply some of them. Maybe I won't do all the tests, like acceleration, braking test. Yeah, you know, it would be interesting to see how long the braking distance on this van is. It's very heavy, and we have winter tires. I mean, can we actually get more than 50 meter of braking distance? But I think people are not interested in it, so I'm probably not gonna bother. Wow, do you guys listen to the noise levels here? Okay, the asphalt there is relatively new, a couple of years old. But I mean, it's even on wet road and it's raining outside, but it is so quiet. I actually measured the EQV to be slightly noisier than the ID Bus, but I guess ID Bus and the EQV, they are the quietest vans out there, even more quiet than some of the other like smaller cars, like sedans, you know. So this is really good. Normally vans, they are quite noisy, especially ENV 200 and Maxus, I call it Max Øresus. They are super noisy. When it comes to Volkswagen e-Crafter, I tested it also, but the e-Crafter is actually limited to 90 kilometers per hour on the speedo, which is, I don't remember how much, but maybe around 86 kilometers per hour GPS speed only. But this one at least can go, over well over 130 kilometers per hour if you want to. But right now 120, and it's so comfy. So yeah, the level of comfort in this Mercedes van is really, really good. When it comes to the ride, by the way, I feel like, well, I'm not sure, but sometimes I get the impression that the seat here can kind of jump up and down a little bit. You know, when you go over bumps, feel almost like it goes up and down. It is like a truck almost. It doesn't ride like a minivan or SUV, so it's more like a van. I guess that's what it is, right? Whereas the ID Bus had more like a minivan or SUV ride. So, but the EQV is a larger van, so maybe it's bound to be, you know, riding like this. So it feels a little bit bouncy over some of the bumps. It doesn't settle right away, but I guess that's the name of the game when you drive around with a van, right? We just passed by Circle K Minnesund. We have done most of the test now, and so far we have 400 watt-hour per kilometer. What the heck, man? Holy Stuttgart, this consumption is high. Is it just because of the rain? I mean, it's 5 degrees Celsius outside. Okay, whatever. Let's get back to the starting point and see what the end consumption is. Maybe we have too much kinetic energy, yeah. Because at 120 kilometers per hour, you can calculate how much kinetic energy you have that we will release once we slow down again. Okay, we finished the 120 test and we ended up with 400 watt-hour per kilometer. It could be 409 watt-hour per kilometer, we don't know. But we assume it's 400, which is the best case. And then apply the correction for over-reporting, and we end up with 404 watt-hour per kilometer. So yeah, I think it has something to do with wet roads and maybe slightly cold weather. So yes, not ideal, but at least this is probably a typical German winter, maybe. So yeah, compared to ID Bus, which is a smaller van, then the ID Bus is actually quite more efficient. And with a smaller battery, ID Bus has more range. So yeah, you know, the EQV is based on a fossil platform. That's why it might not be optimized for efficiency. Mercedes just slapped down a big ass battery, 100 kilowatt hour, and then yeah, without too many modification, you get okay range. But for Volkswagen, the ID Bus, it's a dedicated, you know, MEB platform that they use, and my claim is that they have an efficient drivetrain. Okay, maybe the shape of the car might not be the most efficient one since it's a van, but at least the drivetrain is efficient, and that's why they can get away with only 82 kilowatt hour. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy now, so that's why I think I'm just gonna end it here. So at least now we have tried it, and now you guys have a, well, I wouldn't call it a summer result. It's just yeah, winter-ish result of the EQV. But okay, so yes, I mean, some of you guys be like, but my Model 3 is way more efficient. My Ioniq is way more efficient. Well, but you know, I can fit your Ioniq in the back here. That's how big this van is. So for a van, I think it's still okay. Yeah, maybe just don't hammer too hard, and then you will still have okay range. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.